I'll call this regional council meeting to order. Developing meaningful relations with our Indigenous neighbors is a priority of the Northern Rockies Region Municipality. As such, we are collaborating with the First Nations governments and Indigenous organizations to develop a respectful and meaningful territorial acknowledgement. This work also represents an opportunity to learn more about the culture and history of the Indigenous peoples of the region. Please be advised that tonight's meeting is available for the public to attend virtually, is being streamed and recorded. Should virtual attendees wish to address council during either the public comment period or the question and answer period, use the raise hands feature on your webinar controls. When it is your turn and are prompted, unmute your microphone, state your name, and ask your question. Once your question is ended, you'll be muted again. Are there any council additions? Any CAO additions?
No, Mayor.
Can I get a motion, please, to adopt the agenda? Moved by Councillor Andrews, seconded by Councillor Penny. All those in favor? Carried. Adoption of the minutes of the Special Regional Council meeting of March 24th, 2022, public hearing of March 28th, 2022, the Special Regional Council meeting of March 28th, 2022, and the Regional Council meeting of March 28th, 2022. Can I get a motion, please, to adopt those minutes? Moved by Councillor Roper, seconded by Councillor Andrews. All those in favor? Carried. Are there any virtual attendees who wish to comment on tonight's meeting? Business arising. Email poll for ratification of Fort Nelson Rotary Club grant and aid request. I'll make the motion that council waive the grant and aid policy and award $790.13 fee waiver to the Fort Nelson Rotary Club for the rental of the community hall for a free pancake breakfast for the residents of Fort Nelson. Can I have a seconder for that motion? Seconded by Councillor Andrews. All those in favor? Carried. Admin report number 33, hard surfacing of rural gravel roads. For information, Mr. Bostock.
Evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
So in August of 2021, the residents of Tasma and Fadoo requested that the NRM consider hard surfacing those two subdivision roads. So we looked into the capital costing for chip seal and asphalt, which is in that report you guys have in front of you. Upon doing so, we realized that further assessment needs to take place to gather information on our road usage and better understand the types of traffic counts for all roads in the rural roads inventory before we can make an informed recommendation. Currently, we do not have cost tracking for maintenance on each individual road. We do know that faster and heavier traffic causes more maintenance. And the biggest maintenance cost for the rural roads is dust control. So our current dust suppressant is liquid calcium. And this method has proved to be the most effective from a cost and performance perspective. Going forward, Public Works is going to be working with Urban to collect traffic data on the majority of the rural roads network. And this information will be gathered between May and August with a plan to deliver a report to Council in mid-August.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Mr. Bostock? Councillor Andrews.
Just curious, how is this information collected? Does somebody have to go door to door, or is there like an automated system?
Our plan is to use traffic counters, and we'll be using them on, like I say, the majority of the roads for a determined amount of time, whether that be 3 days, 5 days, and the data will be collected and organized by Urban for us.
Any other questions for Mr. Bostock? Any other comments on this administration report? Thank you very much, Mr. Bostock. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Correspondence letter from Minister Lisa Bear, Minister of Citizen Services, regarding invitation for a roundtable broadband discussion received for information, and a letter from Pablo Rodriguez, Minister of Canadian Heritage, grant funding with ties to the Russian state. Mr. Barry municipality has no ties to any Russian states?
No, sir, not that I'm aware of anyway.
Council information package for March 30th, 2022, received for information. Council information package for April 6th, 2022, received for information. New business, Councillor Penny, Muncho Lake Fishing Derby, My Catch app.
You bet. So what I wanted to bring forward is looking for council to approve the cost of running the leaderboard through the app My Catch for the Rotary Fishing Derby at Muncho Lake. And the reason why I'm bringing this forward is that once I got looking at this app and the coverage that it has, it goes all over North America. I actually brought some of the information here. It was brought up in 1999, has over 80,000 maps all across Canada and the United States, over 100,000 users. And when you get looking on here, what gave me the idea is because I went looking through other derbies that are going on this year, and I saw Cold Lake was just the one that popped out to me, and I realized that Cold Lake sponsored the leaderboard themselves. So when you click that link for their tournament, it actually brings you to the Cold Lake Facebook page, which, I mean, we can make that link go wherever we'd like it to go, you know, wherever we want people to get information on NRM. And I just thought it was a very cost-effective way to get a target market. You know, these are outdoor enthusiasts. These are people that travel around to go to, you know, to go fishing, not just to go to tournaments, but this is a way to get the NRM in their, you know, get it in their face, basically. So, yeah, it's another hook. There you go. Good job. So, yeah, I thought it was, for the price of it, the estimate I've been given by the people from the app is about $2,800. Pardon me?
Is that annually?
No, that is, so this is a one-time use, basically. So once we give the go-ahead and we do this, our information would go up on this app so people could actually start registering for the tournament, you know, right away. And the link would be there for the NRM, and it would be up until the Derby, which is 18th, 19th. They would man the Derby then for us. The link still stays up there and stays in the past Derby list forever. There's no more cost. It's a one-time cost, $2,800. That's it. They take care of the leaderboard. So as people load their pictures of their catch up there, there's going to be people on the other end that are checking to make sure that this fish was caught on the day that it's supposed to be caught. It's the proper species. It's in the right lake. You know, for us, it's not that big a deal. It's Muncho Lake, and the only thing they're going to catch there is lake trout. But anyway, and like I said, that information, that link will stay up. You know, if you scroll down through there, there's you know, 50, 70, 80 different derbies that you can still scroll down through and look at the past and still click on the links. So, but anyway, there's no ongoing cost to it.
Councillor Andrews.
So do these pictures stay in there as like a back history as well to kind of like a promotion to the area?
For sure, yeah. That's what I mean. People can scroll down through past tournaments.
Okay.
And click the link.
And then I'm assuming it'll work up at Muncho being an app. Like just kind of a note. I figured I'd ask. Yeah,
so they don't need to have any Wi-Fi or cell service to use the app to load their pictures on. Mm-hmm. They just need to get back to Wi-Fi for it to upload, you know, to the what I call it, to the mothership, yeah, the cloud. But the app will work just fine out on the boat. They capture the picture, make sure it's loaded. Then once they get back to Wi-Fi, then it pops up. Okay. So I've already arranged it with Urs that the headquarters of the tournament will be at Northern Rockies Lodge, and he'll be providing Wi-Fi so the app can be used up there.
Any other questions? Councillor Gerwing.
And there's money in the tourism budget
that's where I would be suggesting for it to come from.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Councillor Andrews.
Just one more question. So the $2,800, is that per derby? Or mm-hmm. Could we get a bulk discount? Because I know there's other derbies that get held within the community and stuff. Like, so that's the cost per derby. Okay.
It actually fluctuates. It depends on how many days your derby is and how much you want them to do and that sort of thing. But for this particular event, this is what the charge would be.
Any other questions? Mr. Barry, do you have any comments?
No, no, sir. In terms of budget, I'm assuming you're talking budget is the tourism implementation plan budget?
Yes. Get it. 50,000, right? Placeholder. Yeah.
Very well. If there's no other questions, then Councillor Penny, would you like to make that motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion that we approve the cost with the approximate, like I said, $2,800. I'm not sure if that included tax or not. Sorry. But
Very well.
The town covers this cost, becomes the leaderboard sponsor.
Do I have a seconder for the motion? Councillor Roper seconds the motion. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Council reports. Do we have any council reports? Councillor Gerwing.
So I attended the Indigenous Relations Workshop on April the 6th, conducted by Bob Joseph. This is the second training seminar that I've attended with Mr. Joseph. It was very informative, and I would highly recommend all of Mr. Joseph's training seminars. I was really so very encouraged to see so many of the NRM senior staff in attendance, and hope that we can expand these training opportunities to include more and more staff. I attended the Community Health Planning Steering Committee on April the 8th, and just some things I thought you might be interested in knowing. Northern Health has hired a new recruitment and retention ambassador, Byron Stewart. This is a newly created administration position within Northern Health, and Byron was in attendance at the CHP meeting. Work continues on accreditation, which would allow for more or very different types of ultrasounds to take place in Port Nelson. Considering we only have service every 5 weeks, it would be really helpful if more than just the most basic ultrasounds could be done locally. And this has been an ongoing focus for the CHP for many years. As previously reported, Dr. Lola Okatona will be finished the clinic the end of March, and Dr. Tim Okatona at the end of June. Plans are currently being made to address the shortage this is going to create at the hospital. One possibility that they're looking at is to have virtual coverage 1 out of every 3 days, because we only have 2 doctors that will be able to do emergency at the hospital, so it's not sustainable for them to do it every other day. So that's what they're currently looking at. And of course, this change is going to mean wait times for appointments at the clinic is obviously going to be increasing. And really sad to report that the next possibility for us to benefit from the Practice Ready Physician Program, which brought us Okatonas, will not be until January or February of 2023, and there's no guarantee that we'll get anybody then. And just an update on the Holter monitor that we previously approved. There's a 4-week delay in getting the monitor from the manufacturer. Northern Health reports that they will once again be offering this Holter monitor testing through the Fort Nelson General Hospital. They're waiting for the system upgrade and for training before the service is reinstated. I just have some marks here, like, June 6th, we'll see the traveling pediatrician visit our community. They'll be working out of the health unit and are scheduled to visit every 3 to 4 months now. CT scanner update on April 19th, there will be a meeting with the doctors and Northern Health Regional Radiation Safety Officer will take place, and they're going to discuss the actual costs and possible locations for the CT scanner. But to my knowledge, there's still no word on the business plan around which everybody's been waiting for to come out of Northern Health. Good news, BC Ambulance has filled all positions, but is in need of casuals. So if you know of anybody that's interested in getting into that field, they're in desperate need of casuals. And lastly, the referrals out of Airport Way Medical Clinic for the month of March was 141, 40 for general surgery, 28 for ortho, and 11 for gynecology. My report.
Thank you. Councillor Andrews.
I attended the Phoenix Theatre Board meeting on Tuesday. They're seem to be running quite well. They've got some numbers coming up, being open to the public, and they've been showing lots of new patrons coming in, and it seems to be going quite well over there.
Thank you. Any other reports? Very well. I attended the Resource Municipalities Coalition meeting. They've received the draft report on the rail study, and the draft report was there for members to comment on, and we'll go back for final completion by HRD, the company that's doing the study for Resource Municipalities Coalition. April 1st, I attended North Central Government Association Board meeting in Prince George. Planning for the AGM in Fort St. John is continuing. There was some other discussion regarding planning and priorities for North Central Local Government Association going forward. April 5th, meeting with Peak Renewables. Upcoming announcement at the First Nations Major Projects Coalition in Vancouver here on April 26th. They will be making an announcement that is going to be of some importance for the Northern Rockies. April 8th, met with Minister Lisa Bear, Raleigh Russell. They're announcing the opening of some new funding for connectivity, which is pretty exciting, and we'll be talking about that, no doubt, with the Peace River Regional District here later this week. And that is it for me. Yes.
On the rail study,
yes.
were you able to provide input into that? Or did you just get to look at it? Was there anything that you can share with us that pertains to us, or?
Not really. I did have a chance to provide input, but I found that HDR's report was pretty comprehensive. There was some comments from the other mayors from the surrounding communities, members of the Resource Municipalities Coalition. There wasn't really anything substantive, and we're just looking forward to their final report. There was not anything in it that was were no errors, omissions, anything like that. We're just looking forward to their final report here, and it should be coming shortly.
So you felt that they covered this area well?
Yes.
Okay.
Are there any virtual attendees who have any comments on tonight's meeting? Very well. Can I get a motion, please, that the meeting be closed pursuant to section 91K of the Community Charter? Moved by Councillor Andrews, seconded by Councillor Penny. All those in favor? And we are in a closed meeting. I'll call the Regional Council meeting back to order. Mrs. Hanson, the Rising Report.
Moved by Councillor Andrews, seconded by Councillor Penny, that the 2022 roadworks project will be tendered. Carried unanimously.
Thank you. Can I get a motion then that we adjourn this regular council meeting? Moved by Councillor Gerwing, seconded by Councillor Penny. All those in favor? And we are adjourned.